Are you worried yet? Welcome everybody. This is Tusk Talk with Ty post-game show. It's the best post-game no matter where you're watching, how you're listening. Doesn't matter. This is it, baby. Even when you start off 0-3 in conference play, we're still doing our thing over here on Tusk Talk with Ty. Get the microphone going here. By the way, this will be a call-in show. There we go. This will be a call-in show. Link is already in chat. You may have to scroll up just a little bit. Feel free to do that. Let me know. If you are a Discord member, you're going to get 5,000 XP if you call in just like that. And by the way, we are doing wheel spins tonight as well in Discord. So just something to keep in mind. You could rack up some XP. How much will that XP be? These are wheel spins. You may not get anything. So you want to call in and make sure you get some XP. We just started this second cycle. Anyone that joins will get 10,000 XP. Anyone that comes into Discord, we're going to help you out. We're going to give you 10,000 XP if you join Tusk Talk with Ty Discord. Link is provided for you down below in the description box. All right. Make sure you guys like, share, subscribe. Shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company, same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes. 501-244-3667. Again, that's Direct Service Overhead. 501-244-3667. Same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, hundreds of five-star reviews. Why not give them a shot? Give them a call. All right? Okay. Same-day services, by the way, too. Emergency service 24/7, 365 days a year if you purchase a door from them. All right. We are also going to briefly talk about the national championship game too here later. We're going to talk about some betting odds on that bad boy. Notre Dame. How about that? Notre Dame and Ohio State. Incredible. What a listen. There's so many reasons now why they should have expanded the playoffs from the get-go, and I feel like this solidified it, right? Okay. First reaction. We've already got callers lining up. Let me I'll get to you guys. We got Will on the line. We got Brandon on the line. Give me a minute. Let's go over this really quick. Of course, I'm going to react to what the callers say, to what you guys say in chat. But 0-3 is, considering this schedule, considering what they have left, and how horrible the half-court offense has been for Arkansas, especially when they play against quality opponents, is one of the worst I've ever seen. This is one of the worst half-court offenses I have ever seen. There were times, even against Michigan, when they had to set up and run sets or do anything when their half court, when they were met with some, pretty good half court defense and they had to actually set something up. They couldn't score in transition. They couldn't get those fast break points. We saw them at times figure it out, get a little ball movement going and score, whether it was backdoor cutters, setting up high or low ball screens, pick and pops. They could do a little bit of everything. It looked like, all right, they're not a great three-point shooting team, but maybe they can. Boogie Flan with those 15-footers, right? Guys doing a little bit better at the time, cleaning up around the rim. The putbacks, finishing at the rim on layups. Guys, the layups tonight, oh my God, the amount of points. All those points are stuck in between the rim and the backboard. I don't know what their identity is on offense, especially when they play a higher caliber of an opponent. I don't know what it is. There are so many issues with this team on especially on the offensive end of the floor. I heard what they were saying on the broadcast about, and they're not wrong. This was actually a pretty good defensive effort by Arkansas. It really was. This is a top 5, top 8 scoring offense in the country, 87 points a game. Arkansas held them in double digits below that number at 71. They didn't get blown out. That's, if you're looking for silver lining or any kind of positivity, Their defense was aggressive. They were good enough because of their defense to hang around a little bit and chip away at the lead a couple of different times, but they were never good enough. We never saw any consistency on offense. Early on, once again, just like Ole Miss, great start, mostly because of their defense. Brazil in the first half was really good. Listen, I'm not sitting here touting that Brazil's like some All-American at all. Someone said in our Discord his draft stock is rising. I don't know about that, but I know that I like what he did in the first half when he had 7 points and 6 rebounds and 2 steals in the first half. And like at the time, I think he only had 1 or 2 turnovers to finish out the first half. He didn't have a very strong second half, although he was still decent on defense. The open looks outside are still, there's just too many. There's still just too many. But that's what Florida does. That's what Florida can do. Again, I really thought this would be something like a 85, 84. They'd get close to their average, to their scoring average, and Arkansas maybe get to about 60. So really, this isn't surprising to me. Like what I saw, other than Florida not scoring more points, maybe that's surprising, because Arkansas found a way defensively, not to mention Florida was all kinds of foul trouble up and down the roster. At one point, I think they had 4 guys. Condon had a 4th foul, according to ESPN. I don't know where the hell it went. He ended the game with 3 fouls, again, according to ESPN. But they had multiple players in foul trouble. They had to kind of rotate their bigs. They're deep there. They can do that, though. But it's still nice to see them getting a little bit of foul trouble, and that probably had a lot to do with why Arkansas could hang around a little bit. But again, just offense it's bad. This might be, and I don't know if we're saying this too early or not, this might be the worst SEC offense in existence right now. This might be one of the worst, because so far in SEC play, and then again you go back to their legitimate opponents, the games that they've lost, their offense was not up to snuff. Couldn't get it done. All right, let's go to the lines here really quick. Again, if you are in Discord, you're going to get 5,000 XP if you call in. We've got 2 on the line. Let's pull them up here. This is Will. What's going on, Will?
I don't know what to even think right now. Like, it's frustrating because, one, and everyone's going to harp on this guy, Nelly Davis, and his shooting is abysmal. It has been all year, and I understand he was injured at the beginning of the year, and maybe he's still a little injured and stuff. But, man, it's the things that you see with him, like his body language, and just being completely out-hustled and beat off the dribble by your man. I mean, the 0-8, okay, yeah, that sucks. But I think it's the small stuff, like the body language and stuff, that really makes a lot of the fans mad. Whenever they know what kind of money he got paid to come here, and then you see that kind of just body language is horrible. At least, you're a senior. You're supposed to be a leader on this team. Come out and have some pride in, what your craft is, and he's not having any of that. And I think that's a big issue. And you see Cal screaming at the team, telling them get back in full court press and everything. And it's like you only see one player react to what Cal's saying. And so I don't know if that's just part of the, everyone coming here to think that he's going to get them to the NBA. And so they're just playing for themselves or what. But like, I don't know, and I don't want to be the one to say it, but let's be honest here. A lot of the stuff that Kentucky fans were chirping at us about after we hired him, we're seeing that from this team, and we're seeing horrible offense and defense and then rebounding. I mean, we're giving up offensive rebounds at an alarming rate, and those are my biggest issues and everything. But luckily, Chad Morris has taught me to not let Razorback athletics, affect my mood throughout the rest of the day after being disappointed like we always are with them. So that's all I've got. So I just want to get my rant off a little bit.
That wasn't too bad. I appreciate you, Will. Thanks for calling in, man.
Yep.
So Will got his 5,000 XP. By the way, again, if you're calling in and you're a Discord member, and tell me who your name is, because some of you guys I I don't remember your name doesn't match your StreamYard name. And I'm like, who is this? Next up, we got Brandon on the line. What's going on, Brandon?
Man, not a whole lot.
Who are you in Discord?
Oh, man, I can't remember at this moment.
Okay. All right. Fair.
I don't ever use Discord. I only got it because of you. That's, to be honest, so I'm
Okay.
still learning it. But
Missing out.
man, I'm still trying to understand the stuff. I ain't
Gotcha.
used to all these apps, but um, man, I don't even know where to start at. I just really just I hear what Will just said about Nelly, but it's I feel like for Nelly to get to play like Nelly, he's gonna have to start as point guard and have the ball in his hands. That's what I really feel like. And me and some others have talked about it too. That Nelly has to have the ball in his hands, and you know it. And truthfully, I mean, you might agree, you might disagree. But if we're being honest right now, it looks like Boogie might be our best 3-point shooter right now, and so I would put him at the 2. And
Well, he did end up going 2 of 3 from outside, 4 of 13 overall shooting. He was pretty ice cold. He ended up with a pretty strong second half. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they want him. I think I would rather Wagner maybe playing at the point or Flan. I don't know. My whole thing is I'm not sure what Nelly Davis brings to the table. He is older and he probably could play the point, but I don't know that I want him on the floor. I just he's been 0 for 5 outside is just awful. I mean, 0 for 8 overall. I don't know how many. I don't have his minutes up on my screen right now, but he had a whole lot of minutes. Outside of 3 rebounds, he did nothing, and it's even his defense was sus.
yeah,
So I just don't know what the justification is giving him more minutes.
well, besides Nelly, I just say this: giving up second chance points is killing us.
Yeah.
I have no problem with Boogie, but I will say this: Boogie, I can tell he's inexperienced by just taking some wild shots at time that doesn't even make sense. You know, Wagner kind of got a little hot, and it's like they went away from Wagner, and it just
Yeah.
kind of made no sense. Like,
Yeah, I
he
agree.
was hot. Like, feed the hot man, and you know, Brazil didn't do a whole lot, but he was fighting hard. I will say that Brazil was fighting hard. He was trying his best, and it just like seemed like Wagner and Brazil were the only two that were really trying. I mean, it seemed like Boogie was too, but Boogie just Boogie just takes too many wild shots for me, as I've noticed lately. He just takes some wild shots that make no sense, and the thing is, we take heavily contested shots, and when we get layups, we're missing easy layups.
Oh, you don't want to know their layup number.
Uh,
It's bad.
I mean, we can't shoot threes really right now. Big Z's just looks trash.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a whole lot of I told you so's by the Kentucky folks.
Yeah.
And they're not wrong. And I never said they were, and I know a lot of Hog fans. I don't know that I ever saw Hog fans say no, you're wrong here or in our Discord, or no, Kentucky fans are wrong, we're going to be great. I don't know that I ever saw that. I think we knew based on what Cal couldn't do in postseason play, some of that might linger into the regular season, and it has. And I don't know. There's a lot of different angles we could take at this. We are just 3 games in, but it's like it feels like it's now time to panic. And another disturbing stat. This is the first time that Cal's gone 0 for 3 in conference play since his first year. I think it was at UMass.
Yeah.
That's awful. 0 and 3 in conference play, first time since his first year at UMass. And that's been a minute. So, yeah.
That's terrible. I ain't gonna lie. I was kind of doubting the Tucky fans because I thought maybe Cal was just playing bad because the Tucky fans when he was there that last season, we're kind of giving him a lot of hate. So, I was maybe thinking maybe Cal was just under a lot of pressure. And now I'm starting to see maybe it's Cal might just really be washed up after all.
Could be. It could be.
But we in some trouble. I say this, all I gotta say is this, and I'm gone. We in some trouble, and I mean some big trouble. And I'm not gonna be surprised if we don't make it to the big tournament this year.
Appreciate you calling in, Brandon.
Thank you.
Jeremy, you're up next, man.
Tusk Talk with Ty. How are you, man?
I can barely hear you.
How about now?
There we go.
We're me and Justin, the McComb gang, we're leaving the game, Ty.
Oh, wait. So you went to the game?
Yeah, we just left. We're sitting in traffic right now. So got away from the kiddos today and had a guy's day, and I mean it was fun, but I don't know. It's just, I mean, people have said it pretty much. I mean, got to be really shoot 3 for 16 from 3, give up 97 offensive rebounds, miss 11 free throws, and you lose by 8. Like, what else do you expect? I mean, okay. Here's the thing. It was 53-50. You were down. You cut it to 3 points. The crowd's into it. They call a timeout. On the next defensive series, you get a stop, but you give up an offensive rebound, and they hit a 3. All the momentum's gone. All of it. 53-50. You got to stop. Rather than getting the rebound and potentially tying up the game, what do? You give up an offensive rebound, and after they hit that 3-man, when they hit 56-50, that was the nail in the coffin. The dagger was done. The crowd was gone, and rightfully so. I mean, what else do they want from Arkansas fans, honestly? You have to deal with piss-poor football, Sam Pittman, who can't freaking coach. We say 6-6 is good enough to keep him. Then here comes basketball. We're all looking forward to basketball. Then we have to deal with that crap. 0-3 in conference. Like, and that's the thing. The crowd showed up tonight. Like I was questioning whether or not the fans were going to show up. It's snowy outside. Me and my brother traveled from Oklahoma to come watch Arkansas play basketball. And the thing is the crowd showed up. But how much do we have to keep giving our dollars, our time, our effort, our energy away from our families to continue to watch below average product? And some of my frustration is from football season. It does carry over, I'll be honest. But I'll be honest, like, leaving that stadium, I heard it multiple times. Well, is it baseball season? Is it baseball season? Like, that's where we're at with Arkansas basketball. You get a Hall of Fame head coach. You're 0-3 in conference. It seems doom and gloom from the Arkansas perspective, and rightfully so. And it's the little things. It's the little things that beat us. I mean, just the free throws. You missed 11, okay? You lost by 8. The offensive rebounds, we got whipped. We got our tails whipped by Florida. They wanted it more than we did, and it showed. I mean, multiple times. Again, they and that's the thing, man. 3 for 16 from 3, and 2 of them were late. 2 of the threes by Boogie Fland were in meaningless. I don't want to say the first one he hit was meaningless, but essentially meaningless time. You had 1 3 till late in the second half. 1 3. And we think this team's going to be a tournament team? We have got to do better. We paid John Calipari too much dang money. Too much money to continue to do this. Nelly Davis, 0 for 8, man. 0 for 5. What are you doing? Too much NIL money.
It's going to be like this for an hour and a half, man. I can't wait. Yeah.
I don't know that he's not spitting facts here.
Bro, it's seriously so frustrating. We go to a lot of Arkansas events throughout the years. The last time I was at a game where Arkansas won was the Rice football game in 2021. Like, I'm sick of losing, man. I'm sick. This is how it's going to be the rest of the time, and it's going to be justified. Fans showed up. I don't care what anybody on Facebook says, man. Like, if you weren't there, you don't know. TV doesn't do it justice. Our fans were absolutely fire tonight until about the last minute. We stood up the whole time. The fans stood up the whole time. It just doesn't do it justice from the television. And I'm proud of our fans for showing up. But the justification of leaving early and maybe not even showing up for the next home game against Georgia, I don't want to say that, but dadgummit, we are so sick and tired of spending this money to watch us get beat on self-inflicted wounds. So
Yeah, no, I think you guys, you're both onto something, and apathy is setting in, and that's the thing that Hunter Yurachek cannot afford.
Yeah,
right. And another thing is like freaking Hunter Yurachek, man. Apathy for me is set in for him too. Like the fact that he wants to get up and call out the fans for not giving NIL money. What do you mean not giving NIL? How about this, Hunter Yurachek? How about you don't hire the 15th highest paid head coach in a conference with 16 teams and expect to win? That's apathy, Hunter Yurachek. I hope he hears it. Fix it. Go get head coach, because guess what? NIL dollars will soon follow after Hunter Yurachek gets the right head coach. And people want to say Hunter Yurachek hired John Calipari. No, he didn't. John Tyson hired John Calipari with his bag. It wasn't Hunter Yurachek. Thankfully, they were friends. I mean, come on, man. I'm sorry, Ty. I'm venting. It's funny. The highlight of the game was with about 2.5 minutes to go. I checked my phone, had a notification from Ty Hudson saying it's a call-in show. I looked at my brother and I said, the first thing we're doing when we get in the truck is calling into Ty Hudson's show. So that's the highlight, man. I appreciate you giving us a voice, brother.
Yeah.
I'll let you go. I'm sorry if I was yelling, just a little upset. But
no, man. I listen. It's high quality entertainment, and I'm here for it.
No, it's been a blast. The losing aside, having a day like this and coming to watch Arkansas sports. Got the 94 national champion hat on, Ty.
That's good drip right there.
Shout out to the wife. I have a picture of Corliss Williamson on my phone cutting down the nets wearing that hat, and I told her, I said, I want this hat, but I can't find it. And what does she do? She goes on somewhere and gets it for me for Christmas. So shout out to her. So it's
dude. I'm gonna tell you this much. Chad is loving you guys.
Well, good.
Yeah.
Good.
Lance Hamilton says double his XP. You already got your 5K in Discord.
Appreciate it.
Give that Ian Bruce says give that man my XP.
Man. Hey Ty, I love the community you've built. Keep up the great work. I'm gonna let other people call in and they can probably say it better than me. So from the McCollum brothers, man.
Peace out, y'all. Thanks, Ty.
We're out, Ty.
Appreciate you calling, boys. Appreciate it. You guys go have a beer.
Will do.
We will.
See you, man.
Listen, I don't care. Some people complain about some of the call-ins. That was a very good call-in. I mean, I know when Jeremy's on the line, it's going to be something. He's going to cook. You may not always agree with him. Hell, you may not always agree with me, but you know that man's going to cook. That was really good. Here comes Icon, who's it's always funny when someone from Kentucky talks that way about Arkansas fans, call them inbred and everything. Like, bro, have you looked in a mirror lately? Yeah, Kentucky's not much. It's not that much better, my friend. But enjoy the little time out there. Sad part is we get all excited about baseball and basketball. Let's see. Sad part is we get excited about baseball when basketball's still playing. That's sad, and it's not fair. This is Mr. DC. Yeah. On the baseball season. I mean, that's going to be the attitude. Now, again, I have to agree with, can they fix this? They're not wrong when they say Arkansas has the individual pieces. Just like last year with Musselman. By the way, Kentucky fans, did you not watch Arkansas last year under Musselman, who, was pretty good here? I guess this really shouldn't be surprising. 0-3 in conference play. Slow start. We'll see if they can get it figured out. I hope. Has it left the building for a lot of fans? Yeah, probably so. I think they really were banking on Nelly Davis being the guy, being the scorer. And that's just not what he is. That's not what he is. I don't know that you could justify giving Nelly Davis more minutes. I don't know how you do it. How do you do it? How do you justify it? And who was it that said play him at the point spot? Maybe that's a way of fixing it. I don't know. Maybe where you take the ability for him to score out of his hands and you just let him try to be a facilitator. But I don't know that I trust him in that role. I would almost rather Wagner or Boogie Fland. At the end of the day, this is it's unfortunate that you had to play the teams you had to play your first 3 games, which is why we asked before Tennessee what Arkansas's record would be. That was one of our poll questions. What's their record these first 3 games? Because of the caliber of opponent you've got to deal with. Ole Miss is good. I've said all along, I think they're vastly overlooked. Beard is a hell of a coach. That was a matchup nightmare. And you're 0-3. You've had to face I would say the top of the SEC when you're looking at the rest of conference play in comparison. And you've still got Kentucky left. You still got Alabama left. Kentucky's playing good ball right now. I think they're a little hot and cold. They've had some games where they're just head scratch. Like, you should be better than this. You get blown out by Ohio State, who was unranked at the time. I don't know. But then they turned around and listen, they beat Florida at home. It was a good game, and Florida damn near won that thing until the final minutes, and Kentucky was able to pull away. Kentucky's a good team. They are. I have no faith right now that Arkansas is not going to walk into Rupp and get blown out. I think that's going to be a blowout. I do. Right now, if they play tomorrow night, if they play Tuesday or Wednesday or the following, well, wait, when do they've got them in February, right? It's February, 1st. Yeah, I right now I have no faith. In fact, I don't know where my faith is with them even on the road against LSU or Missouri, who are probably not middle-tier SEC teams. I don't have a lot of faith in Arkansas right now. I don't know what they're going to do. I guess we have to ask again, what's their record over the next 3? At LSU, at Missouri, and then they're going to have Georgia at home. Is this about to become an 0-5 stretch for Arkansas in conference play? At that point, I think you're eliminated from the tournament, because if you can't beat some of these teams, I'm not real high on LSU. Missouri, I don't know. They're kind of a mixed bag. I'm not sure what to make of them right now. Boy, poor Auburn losing Broom. Did you guys see that? Oh, that sucks, dude. That is a workhorse. A guy that that's a baller, and Auburn's going to be without him. But you play Auburn February 19th with or without Broom at home, neutral floor, on the road. Even I still wouldn't like Arkansas in that game. Of course not. I don't know. There's a realistic possibility this team's going to start off 0-5. Maybe even 0-6. I don't know. Georgia's. It sucks. Sucks to suck. But that's where they're at right now. Whoops, wrong one. Teams ain't even, well, hold on. Chat keeps going up here. Teams ain't even guarding Nelly on threes. He had several uncontested shots tonight. Let's go over these numbers. 39% from the floor for Florida. Not even great scoring. Not even their shot selection was not great. The Arkansas defense had a lot to do with that. A lot of contested shots, especially from Brazil around the post. And even at times, 13, 15 feet out beyond the arc. He's not a stat guy. He's not. There's people that need to understand that. He impacts the game in other ways. I don't know if he should be getting more minutes or less. I don't know what the answer is. He doesn't seem to be a great help on offense, although this first half in this game, Brazil was the leading scorer. Florida didn't really, I'm not going to say they didn't have an answer for him, but he impacted the game in the first half. That kind of went away in the second half. Someone was talking about DJ Wagner, about how the game just went away from Wagner, and they're not wrong. He ended up with just 9 points. Anyways, Florida 39% shooting, 28% outside. They took 28 threes, and they scored sub 30%. You're fine with that. I mean, again, the problem was not defense for Arkansas in this game. Did they have some bad defensive possessions? Yes, they did. No one's perfect. I would dare argue when Arkansas plays when they meet their potential on defense, this is a top 4 SEC defense. I would argue when they're there, when they're all on the same page, when they're getting back, when they're not getting stuck behind, when they're in transition, trying to get to their spots or whatever it is, whatever their assignment is defensively, if they're in man or zone, they're there. when they're reaching their potential. I was trying to say meet and reach at the same time. When they're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they're all on the same page defensively, even against someone like Florida, the Arkansas could be a problem defensively. The problem has been not being able to consistently get it put together on the offensive end of the floor. There's no consistency. There's no identity. There's still too many wide open threes. You know, we could sit here that we could still say, yeah, their defense, when they play really well, they still seem to have that as a problem. Their perimeter defense, their switch offs or their inability to switch quickly. That looked tonight like they worked on that a little bit. Ball screens have been a problem no matter high or low. That they've seemed to have struggled a little bit with these. Florida does get to the free throw line quite a bit tonight. They were 13 of 20, 65%. 16 offensive rebounds, 49 total rebounds. They out-rebound Arkansas by 10. They were +3 in the assist-to-turnover ratio, 13 assists to 10 turnovers. They had 7 blocks tonight. They had 7 blocks. They got quite a bit of production from their bench. Alexis and I think his last name is pronounced, it's Ha, but it's spelled H-A-U-G-H. I don't think it's Hoff. I'm pretty sure they said Ha, like H-A. But he had a really good night. 7 boards, 4 offensive rebounds by himself. Him and Alexis both with more offensive rebounds between the two of them, 8 than any one Arkansas player. 7 total rebounds between the two of them. So 14 boards, 8 points for How, and maybe it's How, whatever. And then 6 points from Alexis. 4 of their 5 in double-digit scoring. Elijah Martin with 14 points. He fouled out of the game. Chinlu fouled out of the game. How fouled out of the game. Yeah, it's H-O-W. That sounds right. 71 points for Florida. Again, a team that scores 87 points a night. Arkansas holds them to 71. Not bad. Arkansas offensively just atrocious. 30% shooting from the floor, 18 of 60. 3 of 16 outside. That's sub 20%. In fact, that's sub 19%, 18.8. Could not hit free throws. You want to talk about, and again, something Jeremy pointed out, not knocking down the free throw shots, right? You're 68% here. You're missing shots. Thiero was 9 of 12 at the charity stripe. Adu was 3 of 6. He was 50%. Wagner was 50%, 2 of 4. And Brazil was 50%, 3 of 6. And Brazil has not been good at the free throw line this year. 24-35. You make 30 of those, that's 6 more points. If you finish at the rim, God knows that's a lot more points. You may not hit all your layups. They did have 15 offensive boards tonight to Florida's 16, but they still get out-rebounded again, 49-39. Arkansas, again, a low turnover game for them. They're out of the double digits. I think this is back-to-back games, right? Wasn't that their thing against Ole Miss? They didn't have a lot of turnovers, or am I remembering that incorrectly? They are +2 here. Assist to turnover ratio, 10-8. Not a lot of bench production. The bench did not, outside of Brazil, again, John L. Davis didn't start tonight. It was Thiero, Knox, Jonas Adu, Boogie Flan, and DJ Wagner were your starters. Nelly did come off the bench, but I think he got quite a bit of minutes. We're going to look at that here in a second. But as far as scoring, Brazil got all your bench points. Billy Richmond didn't do anything tonight. I don't think he got a lot of minutes. Mr. DC Kyle says, Georgia about to eat some hog soup. Must won on the day against Illinois. Keep in mind, Illinois was without their best player. Or not one of their better players. So that is something to keep in mind. But yeah, that's still a great win. You're not wrong. You're not wrong, Prue. That's a great win for them. Any chance you could put on the post-game conference? No, I can't stream that. If you're asking me to stream, no, I can't do that without the permission of the university. Everyone, please look at who we played our last 3 games. And this is a fair point. You played some really tough SEC opponents, but here's the problem. Every single game is going to be like this. Your easier games are on the road. In a time when winning on the road is maybe as difficult as it's ever been. Some road teams have won, and Arkansas is good enough, by the way, to win, to go on a winning streak, to beat LSU, to beat Missouri, and to beat Georgia. They're good enough. Let me say it again. They're talented enough. Are they playing? Is the product on the floor good enough right now? No, it's not. But they have the individual talent. Maybe this is a case where they figure it out. I don't know. It's deja vu. We've talked about this over and over. Maybe they figure this out as they continue to play. I don't know. Not a lot of hope right now. I mean, they look atrocious. Again, if you guys were to call in, this is a call-in show. If you're a Discord member, you're going to get 5,000 XP. If you join Discord, we're going to get you right in the middle of combat. We're going to give you 10,000 XP. Hog Wild Niner guy, typical Arkansas, always underwhelming regardless of sport. To be fair, and I say this, there are a lot of teams that would kill to be in Arkansas situation when you're talking about like baseball. For a while there, we thought basketball would be the case, but it looks like they're going to have back-to-back very underwhelming seasons in basketball. So, but baseball's been disappointing, not being able to get out of their own regionals in back-to-back years. But I don't know. Dave Van Horn, no doubt, the guy is good enough to not let that be the case 3 years in a row. But anything's possible. Never say never. Jimmy James, who obviously is a Kentucky fan, says Cal's 40 minutes of hell is absolute hell. Yeah. Josh says it's Cal's first year. They'll be okay. I don't know that argument holds as much water as it did 5 years ago, 5-6 years ago. Cal was great until the game changed, and today you can't play dribble drive. Can't play the dribble drive. No guards are dominant enough anymore to simply take over at will alone. Here's the only problem with that argument, Bibbs. Where did Kentucky finish in SEC play the last 3 years? Remember, you guys keep moving the goalpost. Remember what you said when we hired him. When Arkansas hired Calipari, what'd you say? Cool, you'll be good during the season, but you're going to get eliminated week 1. And now that he's losing, and he goes 0 for 3 for the first time in years, now it's different. Now his style just doesn't work, period. That's weird because he's finished where in the top 3 in the SEC? Top 3, like every year, right? Correct me if I'm wrong. I mean, post-COVID, he's had one not great regular season, a really bad regular season year when he won whatever it was, 9 games, during a COVID season. So again, you guys, you're moving the goalpost. This is why we don't. First off, we knew about some of the issues when he came here. Arkansas fans knew, most of them, the people I talk with, most of the people in Discord, something we talked about with on this live show about him being this celebrity and how maybe he is he's past his prime. Were Arkansas fans excited? Yes. How many schools could say they've hired 3 Hall of Fame coaches? Not very many. Not everybody, and I hate to say this, but not everybody is a Duke, a North Carolina, or a Kentucky. You won't ever catch me saying anything different about where Kentucky stands in basketball history. They are phenomenal. One of the greatest blue bloods, and I hate to admit that. We hate you guys. Arkansas fans hate Kentucky. But I will, I'd be delusional to say otherwise. However, fans were excited because of what he was able to do in the portal, bringing Wagner, flipping Fland, bringing over a big-time piece to the Tennessee puzzle. Of course fans were excited. Who wouldn't be? He was you talk about what schools would turn him down. Not very many. If Kentucky had to do it over again, would they? No, you wouldn't. He brought you unbelievable success until the last, I dropped my quarter, until the last few years. And you wouldn't trade that. So Arkansas fans were hoping they would get a little taste of the success that he had at Kentucky. So far, it's not happening. They're 0-3 in conference play, and it is what it is. Again, none of this is shocking. Is it a little bit surprising? Yeah, I wouldn't have said they would go 0-3. I would have leaned on 2-1. I would have. Hindsight being what it is, of course there's going to be people who are going to say, we told you so. We told you. No, you didn't. No, you didn't. Shut up. Shh. Stop. Close your mouth. Stop typing. You did not tell us that he would be bad during the regular season. Again, the argument was they're going to be bad in the postseason. You're going to be one and done. So stop moving the goalposts. No one's, you are moving the goalpost 100%. Kentucky fans created the goalpost. Trust me, every excuse you come up with, Kentucky fans told themselves what. Yeah, I don't know that you're listening to what it is I'm saying. You guys are absolutely moving the goalpost. There are a few Kentucky fans who will come through and say, I didn't see Arkansas going 0-3. Didn't see you having these kind of regular season issues. Didn't see that occurring. You'll see some of those. I've seen a couple in other places. They're like, I didn't see this coming. Those are reasonable. Those are fans I'm going to take seriously. But yeah, a lot of you who come through this channel, you've definitely moved the goalpost 110%. Yeah, great point. A whole lot of hindsight, ignorant takes, moving the goalpost 110%. We were never told that regular season he would suck. That's inherently as false. Yeah, well, anyways, focusing on what happened. Arkansas's got to figure out, they have to get it figured out on the offensive end of the floor. There's no doubt. The offensive end of the floor, they don't know what they are. And Boogie Flan, you're not in love with his performance tonight, but he did find a way in the second half. He became a little bit of a factor, 15 points, second leading scorer. Arkansas had the leading scorer on the floor, no matter the team, in Adu Thero, shooting 40%, 0 for 1 outside, 9 of 12, 3 boards. I will say I'm a little bit surprised they got Arkansas ended up with 15 boards. And I am a little surprised they held Florida even under 75 points. And that's good to see. There are little nuggets of, oh man, on defense, can they do this every night? And can they ever get it figured out on offense? Can they figure out a half-court offense? Their fast break points tonight were awful. Going a little bit deeper here, they had 22 points in the paint. Again, just 7 bench points. 12 points off turnovers. 6 second chance points. 10 fast break points. 2 of 16 on layups. And yeah, some of them were contested, fair. But a lot of others were not contested. 2 of 16 on layups. I don't know that I've seen that before from Arkansas. I don't know that I've ever. Now, I know there were a couple of games last year with Muss where you had some abysmal layup numbers. These are horrible. And Florida's size will affect that part of your of what you're doing on the offensive end of the floor. Sure. But again, not all of those were contested. 2 of 16. They were, however, 6 of 6 on dunks. We have had nights where they were not. We've had nights where they finished like 50%, I think. Or it was close to that, maybe a little bit above. 68 possessions for Arkansas. Just bad. I mean, there's no other way to put it. Florida had 32 points in the paint. 19 second chance points. 12 fast break points. They were 10 of 19. So, I mean, almost I mean, that's a pretty good number. 10 and 19 on layups. It's not bad. It's not great. And they were also 3 of 3 on dunks. There's just so many questions. And, the answer to me, I think it's reducing Nelly's minutes. I don't know if you want to keep Boogie at the point. Maybe that's where the change needs to happen. Again, maybe putting Nelly at the point will reduce. Maybe you want him to become the facilitator, but that's not what he ever was at FAU. I mean, not really. He was a scorer. That's what he did. The last 2 years was a great three-point shooter, could stretch the floor, could score from multiple places on the floor. And that has that's not happening at Arkansas. And that's obviously been a big part of the offensive question, is Nelly not figuring it out. They have got to, in the offseason, they're going to have to go out and get some dog guards, some dog wing. They're going to have to go out and get some absolute scorers, man. Guys that can knock down the mid-range, guys that can stretch the floor outside beyond the arc. They don't have enough of it. Guys that can finish at the damn rim. Carter Knox tonight. I don't know if we talked enough about him. Like, what the hell was he doing? 32 minutes, or excuse me, not 32, 18 minutes. 18 minutes, 4 points, 1 of 7, 0 for 2 outside. He was 2 for 2 at the free throw line, but 4 boards. -1 on the plus minus. Adu Thero was 4 on the plus minus. The only Razorback to not be in the minus. Big Z, don't know what his role should be moving forward. I don't know. I'm sure you'll use him for matchups as the year goes, as we continue to unwind the rest of the season. Sure, you're going to use him for matchups. Again, the individual talent is there. They have studs. They just don't have chemistry. They don't have an identity on offense. When you're struggling at the rim, it doesn't really matter what your identity is on the offensive end of the floor. When you are 2 of 16 on layups, it kind of doesn't matter what the hell you're doing or not. That's just bad. That is horrible. Shooting as poorly as they did outside. Just awful outside shooting. Just 3 of 16, just 16 attempts, but I don't know. It's just at this point it's almost like the expectation is they're even if they get off to, and remember, our complaint was the super slow starts. Those were the complaints. And now they've had back-to-back games where they have a 7, 8, 9-point lead, and they can't build on top of it, and they can't contain what the other team's doing. Again, the defense wasn't perfect. I'm not trying to say that either. The defense wasn't perfect tonight. But all things considered, Florida's a really good offense. I don't know. You're going to play some more good offenses because this league produces several now. Yeah, good point right here. Larry Johnson told Nolan, you're going to have to go get you some men. Josh says, yes, set Nelly out. I don't know what the answer is for Nelly. I don't know how you justify giving him more minutes. What is the argument to giving him more minutes? I don't know. National championship coming up. We got the national title game coming up. Let's take a look at this really quick. If you guys, there are some bets being laid down here. We got a long ways to go. It's on the 20th, so we still got 9 days. 6:30 p.m. Go on over to BroThrow, peer-to-peer betting. There's plenty of bets to be taken. You can lace them down yourself. There's some Hog fans getting involved right there. Houston. Boy, Houston's all up in it. Look at that. So go on over to BroThrow, peer-to-peer betting. Maybe you'll have a little bit more luck than I've had. It's not been all bad. I did win my first bet, and I was paid that following morning. Remember, they take Cash App, PayPal, Venmo. You lay down the bet. It's on you. This is peer-to-peer. This is not you having this isn't a brick and mortar. This is a nationwide, coast-to-coast betting site, a sports betting site, obviously, that you can take a shot here. Well, look at the -10s here. So right now, Ohio State favored at 9.5. The money line at 340, -340. Ohio State. Over/unders at 45 points. 45 on the over/under. What do the over/under bets look like? Right now, there's only 3 up. Yeah, I suspect this one's going to grow. Only 1 accepted bet so far. This will grow, and the money line probably not real big yet either. Nope. The over/under and the money line will grow as we get closer and closer. Obviously, the spread will the amount of bets will grow, obviously, as we get a little closer. Figure out the health of these two teams. You'll start to see some changes here, and you'll start to see some more bets. So head on over to BroThrow. Use promo code TUSK to get in. If you're a Discord member and you join and you share the screen, or excuse me, you take a screenshot, rather, you'll get some XP for that as well. So there you go. Head on over to BroThrow if you haven't already. All right. I think we're going to call it there. Yeah, Haas says we don't play as a team. As you stated, you can put the ball through the net at a good percentage. Nothing else matters. Exactly. Peanut butter pauses. Holy shit. I just Googled it. Lou Holtz is still alive. Of course he's still alive. If he died, you would know about it. He is college football royalty. I'm rooting for the Irish, baby. Yeah. I'm picking Ohio State at the moment. I might change on that. I don't know. So head on over to BroThrow. Put your bet down. Go get in on it. Shout out to Patreon supporters again. I appreciate you guys. Remember the cards. There's a video up right now on Patreon. It's actually open to the public. All you got to do is go to Patreon/Tusk Talk, and you can see the cards. There's a little 30-second video put together that will tells you what's on the line for the month of January. You get an opportunity at winning some of those cards. All right, cool. Anyways, shout out to Direct Service Overhead, the Garage Door Company. Same-day services, quality parts, affordable outcomes, better than best results. Give them a call today at 501-244-3667. Wow. All right. So I guess that's going to do it. I appreciate everyone, and I'll see you on the next one. We'll be back next week, probably Monday. More than likely Monday. If not, I'll let you guys know. Hit the like button, share the content, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys next week. Yeah, be safe. The roads are probably frozen as the snow's melting, so be safe. All right, and I'll see you guys next week.